Israeli airstrikes struck the Gaza Strip, including the southern city of Rafah on the border with Egypt on 9 February, causing nearly 24 fatalities, including women and children. Witnesses and hospital officials said. The IDF also reportedly conducted the airstrikes on the Rafah city on Gaza's southern border, killing at least 13 people, including 2 women and 5 children, according to a hospital that received the remains. The military did not immediately comment on those strikes. In the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis, the IDF said the commando brigade operated in the western part of the city, raiding Hamas sites. An IDF drone spotted a Hamas cell placing explosive devices near the commando troops, and an aircraft struck and killed the operatives. The airstrikes came hours after as President Joe Biden said on 8 February that he considered Israel's conduct in the war to be over the top. As Secretary of State Antony Blinken left Israel as the divide grew between the two close allies on the way forward. However, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had indicated that over 1 million civilians who have crowded into the southern Gaza city of Rafah will be able to evacuate before the Israel Defense Forces begins operating there. Netanyahu's office said in a statement that he had instructed the IDF and defense establishment to present the cabinet with plans for both the evacuation of the Palestinian civilian population from the southern Gaza Strip and the dismantlement of Hamas battalions in the Rafah area. More than half of Gaza's population of 2.3 million has been driven by Israel's military offensive toward the border with Egypt. Unable to leave the tiny Palestinian territory, many are living in makeshift tent camps or overflowing UNRWA shelters. Meanwhile, Netanyahu has rejected a ceasefire proposal from Hamas, saying its demands were delusional. After the terror group proposed a truce plan that would see a 4.5-month ceasefire during which hostages would be freed in 3 stages, and which would lead to an end to the war. The Hamas proposal would have seen Israeli troops withdraw from Gaza with the terror group still intact ruling the Strip, as well as the release of 1,500 prisoners from Israeli jails, a third of whom are serving life sentences. It made other various demands of Israel. The Palestinian death toll from the war has surpassed 27,840 people, the health ministry in Gaza said. A quarter of Gaza's residents are starving. The war began with Hamas' assault into Israel on 7 October, in which militants killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducted around 250. Hamas is still holding more than 130 hostages, but around 30 of them are believed to be dead.